Hey guys.
Happy Sunday. So I have to say, this has been a really good week. So we have lots of things to catch you up on this week, and then also kind of a sneak peek of what we're going to be up to over the next week. So we have so many things to talk about that I actually made notes today so we wouldn't forget anything. All right, so let's start with Thanksgiving. So since it was just the two of us this year, we decided to hang on to our difficult to find turkey.
Yep.
And we're going to save that for when the kids are here for Christmas, because we are going to have both of our daughters here for several weeks over the Christmas holiday this year. So we're busy thinking through all of that now. So what we did for Thanksgiving this year is we made pilgrim sandwiches. Now, several years back, we went to the Brimfield Antiques Fair.
Yep, in Massachusetts.
Yeah, and they had these pilgrim sandwiches, which is basically like Thanksgiving in sandwich form, right?
Yeah.
So it was like the turkey, the cranberry sauce, the stuffing, all the things in a sandwich. So we ate as many of those as we could manage while we were there. And now it's kind of become a bit of a family tradition. So much so that we will often make the ingredients for those sandwiches at other times in the year so that we can just enjoy them. So we made Thanksgiving sandwiches this year, and that was perfect for us. It was low fuss, low muss.
Yep.
It had all the things, homemade cranberry sauce, homemade stuffing. So that was perfect for us this year, and that may become a bit of a tradition. So we'll see. Now, we also managed to squeeze in some thrifting this week. And I have to say, I think this was my favorite thrifting week in a while. Like, I think we had some of our best finds.
Yeah.
So I have one big find in particular that I'm excited to show you guys this week. Something that I have been watching for a while, and it has just really, really made a difference already. Okay, so we also started decorating this week. And Mr. Huff took the lead on that this year, which I am really loving. Now, one of the great things about being a blogger and a vlogger is that you have photos and videos of how your house was decorated the previous year. So he's been going back and watching our home tour video from last year and basically using it as a cheat sheet to figure out where things go. So that's been a great starting point, because then I can just come in and focus on the little fun tweaks and things of placing things in different spots or whatever that I want to do this year. So really nice to have that off of my list. And I discovered a really nice side effect of him doing the decorating is that all of those like broken handmade kid ornaments that I just kind of cram back in the box every year and say, yeah, I'll deal with that next year. That being a fix it kind of guy, he saw the pile and he got busy fixing everything.
Yeah, I was in the mood, so.
Yeah, so a little crafty this week, but I'm very glad to have that off of my mom guilt list, right? Okay, and then we also got to go to our first Christmas event last night. And this one was really something special. So they had a Christmas tractor parade, and this is the first one that they've had in this area. So I've seen footage before where this has taken place in other parts of France, but I think this was actually, I know for sure it was the first one at this town and this village, but I think it was even the first one for our region.
Yeah.
So that was really, really fun. And we of course shot some footage to take you guys along so you can experience that. And okay, so we also have quite a bit of plans already for this week. I feel like now that Christmas season is like officially here, we could just about go to a Christmas event every day if we wanted to. It is just, I don't know. This region really does Christmas well. So some of the things that I know we're going to be going to this week, there is going to be a Christmas lighting at a nearby town.
Yep.
Now we've shown you some of the decorations in this town in the past. I think we did last year. It's where that cathedral was located with all the beautiful nativity. But they're adding on this year a balcony decorating contest. So they were telling everybody who lived downtown to decorate their balcony, and they're having a big contest to see who's going to win some cash prizes. So that kicks off Wednesday night. We're going to try to go to that. And then something completely different again from the tractors and the downtown lighting. There's an abbey that's going to have a Christmas market.
Yep.
So we're going to go head over there Friday. It's a medieval abbey. It's beautiful. It looks like it's going to be an amazing event. And there were even like handmade baskets and things that you could make when you were there for free. So I'm very excited about this one. Also this week, and I'm telling you, I don't know how we're going to get any work done this week. We've got so many plans. I just read this morning, there's a new thrift store that opened Saturday. It's an Emmaus. We don't really have very many of those in our area, but if you've ever seen videos of the Emmaus stores and the hauls that people get, it's pretty incredible. So we're going to try to head over there Wednesday, and maybe while we're in that direction, visit a couple thrift stores that we don't get to quite as often. So very excited about that. Now, between all of these extra events we're going to and all of the preparations that we're doing for getting ready for our kids to come, we're going to give you guys some extra videos this month. Now, obviously, this is a busy time of year, so I don't want to hold ourselves to like a tight schedule and tell you we're going to have a video every day or anything like that. But my plan is that we will continue to put out our weekly Sunday videos to kind of recap the week for you. And then if we're doing something to get ready for the kids coming or we're at a cool event, we will go ahead and shoot some footage of those things as well. So watch for those. They'll just kind of pop up here and there throughout the week leading up to Christmas. So let's see. And we still have a recipe to talk about. So this week I am going to be showing you guys how to make slow cooker candied pecans.
Yep.
Super tasty. We've already been eating them today.
Very tasty.
So while we've been decorating the house and doing all of that this week, well, today especially, we were munching on those. So the house smells amazing right now. So I'm going to show you that recipe. And then a question that we've had coming up, and I know some people are wondering when we're going to have our Christmas home tour. As I mentioned, Mr. Huff has been busy decorating. We are really close to having it done.
Yep. All the trees are up.
Yeah, I have one tree I need to decorate. I think all of the other trees are decorated. Then the only thing we have left is making our homemade wreaths. So we'll go around the yard and pick out some stuff for that in the next day or two. And then I'm still tweaking the dining room tables. So basically I have an idea in my mind of how I wanted to theme out one of them this year. I haven't quite managed to assemble all the pieces. So we'll see. I'm going to give it one more go when we go thrifting this week and see if I can find the little last bits and bobs that I would need to change the color scheme for this table. If I don't, then I will do something just using what we have. And so I would say maybe in the next week, probably, we'll have our Christmas home tour up as well. So lots of stuff going on this month, and we're really excited to get to share the season with you guys. So you ready to show them what we've been up to?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, so I'm excited to show you what I found this week when we were out thrifting. So here's our staircase here and our stockpile here just off the staircase. And what we found this week is this awesome shelf. So last week I showed you that we had found a rack that we intend to turn into a spice rack for the kitchen. And that's going to hold all of my working spices. So maybe about a cup each of all of our spices. And this here is now holding all of my bulk spices. So these are the jars that I use to refill the kitchen containers. And I had a little small shelf here, which was helping. But when I saw this yesterday, I knew that it was the perfect solution for my spices, because with 3 shelves to store them on, plus a top, because this top edge actually has a little lip, so it's perfect for storing more. I knew that this was going to be a great solution for us. Now, this is actually the top of a buffet. And so we're using this in kind of an out-of-the-box way, but it works really well for us because it's not particularly deep, so it's not taking up too much space. And I just have it tucked in here under the stairs. So let me come in here, and I'll have to kind of duck in here, but I'll show you what we're storing here. So I've shown you some of these jars before. So like I said, these are all of our bulk spices. And what's great about this shelf is it's deeper than what I had here before. So I can actually go 2 or even 3 rows deep, depending on the size of the jars. So right now, this is probably holding half or less than what it can hold. So I will work on getting some more jars and getting this set up the way I'm envisioning. But this is already so great. And what's nice is because this is bigger than what I had here before, I've actually been able to move some things here that were in my stockpile. And now I'm gaining some space there to better organize that area because it's kind of been a bit of a space pinch. So some of the things that I've moved so far, I have all of my homemade breadcrumbs here. So Italian, plain, panko. So now they're here where they're easier for me to reach. And then I've started also moving in all of my homemade, my frugal home mix recipes. So sugar cookie, chocolate sugar cookie. These are all, they're empty right now, but these are the jars for several of my different flavors of hot cocoa, which I'll be refilling this week. My buttermilk pancake mix, my cornbread mix. So now that I have a good spot for those, I'm going to get all of my mixes restocked again. So I'm very happy about that because to this point we had not had a spot in the kitchen or the stockpile for those. And I'm thinking I probably will also bring my extracts over here too. So, I mean, I have the extracts that we're currently using in the kitchen, and I have all of my backup ones brewing in the stockpile. So if I can get that stuff out of the stockpile, that means I can put something else in its place. So it has definitely been a bit of a pinch in what I've been able to store to this point. Now, one nice thing about this shelf, we were able to bring these jars out of storage, these canisters. So these are something we had used when we did craft shows. And for the last 2 years, they've just kind of been sitting here in storage. So they fit very nicely across the top. And now I just need to give it a little bit of thought as to what we're going to store in those. But yeah, it's great. So this top is deep enough, and with this nice ledge, this nice lip here, I can actually refill my jars on the top of this, use it as a work surface. So big improvement this week. While I'm showing you thrift finds, I also wanted to show you where we put the electric candelabra that we found last week. So it was just last night that Mr. Huff came up with a genius spot for it, and I super love it. So you may recognize this room. We're in Chambre Verte. So this is the green bedroom that we designed this summer. So let me show you where it ended up. Right here in the wall niche. I absolutely love it. It casts incredible light being in that spot, and it just feels so in keeping with the age of the house. So we still have a little bit of work in hiding the cord. We're going to figure that out, but it's just incredible. So it's like directly across the bed. It is just the best warm lighting. So really pleased that we bought that. That was €9 last week. And I think it really completes the room. And you're getting a bit of a sneak peek because yes, we've got a Christmas tree in here this year. So we've got this one there. So tiny little sneak peek of our Christmas decor. Okay, so we were successful in securing cranberries again this year for our Thanksgiving dinner. So these are not particularly easy to find here in Normandy. I think in recent years, dried cranberries have caught on, but the fresh ones, not so much. So this is about half of what the grocery store had. And they really only get them for a little small window right before the holiday. So I'm going to be testing out 2 new versions of cranberry sauce. So we've traditionally always made the standard recipe with 1 cup water, 1 cup sugar, and then the bag of cranberries. So this year I have some additional add-ins that I'm really excited to try. So if they work, I'll share those recipes with you guys. All right, so I think today's kitchen project was a success. So I had 2 new flavors of cranberry sauce kicking around in my head. And I've tested both of those out. So we've got this one is an apple cinnamon cranberry sauce. And this one here is a red wine cranberry sauce. So Mr. Huff and I are going to give these a taste test. If they're good, I will add them to the website. So probably a little late this year for Thanksgiving, but they'll at least be there for the future. So if you're looking for ideas for Christmas, that might be something to add to your Christmas dinner. And happily, I had enough cranberries left over for the equivalent of 1.5 bags of US cranberries. So I'm going to tuck these in the freezer, and then we'll have some for Christmas when the kids are here. Okay, so one of the projects that we're tackling today is decorating the family Christmas tree. Now, this is the tree that has all of the handmade ornaments that the kids have made for us over the years. And we had some that had gotten damaged, and Mr. Huff took the lead on repairing those this year. So we've spent a little bit of time digging through our craft supplies to find eyes and pom-pom noses and all of the things that we would need to repair the damaged ornaments. So you can see quite a few had to go to Santa's repair shop this year. But Mr. Huff has glued on all of the missing pieces. Now we can get them back on our family tree. So this week, I thought I would show you how to make candied pecans in the slow cooker. So this is a very simple recipe. It's only going to take you a few minutes of hands-on time, and it makes something that's excellent to bring to parties, but it also is a really nice gift. Okay, so, and I will also add, it only requires very basic ingredients. So I have some pecans here, and I'm using pecan halves because it just makes a nicer finished candied pecan. And then we also have brown sugar, granulated sugar, some cinnamon, a small bit of salt, and then some vanilla extract and an egg white. Okay, so aside from the pecans, which you may not have, all of this is probably stuff you have in your pantry. All right, so let's put this together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our egg white and we're going to combine that with the vanilla extract. Now, if you're in gift mode right now and you're trying to come up with nice homemade gifts, vanilla that you've made yourself is an excellent gift. You could start it now and it would be well on its way to making a batch before you gave it. All right, let's get some that, let's see. 1, 2. So I can link our vanilla instructions as well if you're interested in giving that a go for a gift this year. Okay, so we're just gonna quickly whisk those two together. Okay, and then we'll set that aside for a minute. We're gonna combine all of our spices and sugars. Now here's our brown sugar. And as usual, I will include a link to the recipe so you don't have to worry about measurements while we're making it now. There's our granulated sugar, our ground cinnamon. Make sure we get every little bit out. We don't want to waste. A little bit of salt to bring out the sugars. It kind of has a nice little contrast. All right, so there's all of that. We're just going to quickly stir this together to create the seasonings for our candied pecans. And while I'm doing this, I'm taking a second just to break up any clumps that there might be in the sugar. I see a few here just in the granulated sugar. It smells really good. And this is going to make your house smell really good while it's cooking as well. So if you're hosting a party, this would be a great thing to make because it's going to give you something to serve your guests, but it's also going to make your house smell really good when everybody arrives. Okay, I'll just quickly use my fingers to check for some clumps. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So now we're going to get everything into our slow cooker. So first in is our pecans. And then we're going to add our egg white vanilla blend because this is going to give us something that's going to help all of those spices and sugars stick to our pecans. So we've got that. And we're just going to quickly toss these because we want all of the pecans well coated so that they're going to be ready to accept all of the sugars and spices. Okay, so you can see the pecans are all looking shiny. I think we've got that pretty evenly coated. All right, and final thing we're going to add is our spice sugar blend. Now, this is one of those foods that when you're at a fair or a festival, you pay quite a bit of markup to have these because they smell amazing. You get in there and you smell them, you have to have them. So this is a great hack to be able to just make these at home. That way there's no markup, you're just paying for the cost of the ingredients. And if you're lucky enough to have pecan trees, this becomes even more affordable. All right, so I'm just gonna toss these around until after like all of the spices and sugars are adhering to the nuts rather than sitting around in the slow cooker. Okay, so that looks good. And now I'm gonna set this to low and I'm gonna let this go for 2 hours with the lid off. Now, we wanna make sure that our nuts aren't burning. So every once in a while, just come through and give them a quick stir. But we'll come back in 2 hours and I will show you how these have turned out. Okay, so the pecans have been cooking while we've been working on decorating the house. So let me show you how these turned out. See, these look just like the ones that you see at festivals and fairs. So now we're going to scoop these into a serving dish because I don't think I'm going to be able to keep Mr. Huff out of these for much longer. I've been making the whole house smell like candied pecans while he's been working. Now, certainly you could double or even triple this recipe and still fit that in a single crock pot. So if you're getting ready for a party and you need a bunch of these, feel free to increase the recipe as you need to. Yeah, I'm not sure these are going to last the day. There may just be the two of us, but I'm thinking that these are going to get gobbled up. And you'll notice I'm using my new shell serving dish that we found thrifting the other week. So he's on his maiden voyage. Almost got them all. Okay, so as usual, I will include a link to this recipe in the description below the video. And the 2 cranberry sauce recipes that I was experimenting with this week were a success. Now, I know that Thanksgiving has already passed, but cranberries are still in season and we've got Christmas dinner coming up not too long from now. So I will include a link to both of those as well.